We appreciate it. All right. Little loosey-goosey edition of the program today. Although it's not as loosey and goosey. It's a little bit more buttoned up. This is the first Libations Friday of the football season. Hey, let that sink in for a second right there, right? Let that, ooh, all right.
That feels good. We'll acknowledge that, and I'm using the royal we in a few hours. Right now, preparations are being made, buddy.
Yeah, so the happy hour show, let's get it out there to let y'all know. 5:30, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. If you're in town, Appalachia Parkway, the locale. Myself, Corey Clark, taking questions, shotgunning beers. I don't know about all that.
Hey, man, they've got cans and Addy there. You could do it. Maybe you should, in this episode today, you should set the parameters by which you two would shotgun a beer on the Warchant happy hour.
The problem is I'm not going to shotgun a beer no matter the parameters today because I have some driving to do, so I can't do that. But a different day.
A different day, not today. I'm talking about the parameters this season. Which.
I'm sorry. Okay, yeah. Well, I don't have anything against shotgunning beers by any means. I mean, think of who you're talking to here. I would gladly, like, if we kick a field goal in the second quarter of game one. All right, time to shotgun a beer, everybody. Yeah, so it's not, the standards aren't high for me to agree to shotgun a beer.
I tried it as a tradition way back when in 2006 for the NLCS. I was just around 21 and just over 21, right there.
I haven't. This is interesting, Tom, and I want to hear this because I don't. You were 21 the last time you did it?
Yes, the last time I did it, sure. So I was probably 30, yeah. I mean,
okay. So
it's been years.
Okay, no, I know. Actually, it never happens. I mean, you get to a certain age where nobody's at the cocktail party like, hey, everybody gather around, let's shotgun some beers.
We once shotgun beers after a big broadcast on the AM dial in Millar's office. One time. I remember that.
I believe it.
Yeah. Well, as an intern, that sticks out to you. Like, oh, man, I'm shotgunning beers
with
the guys.
They get down around here. These guys here, post-show shotgun going on. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me to hear you say that happened. I don't remember it happening, but that's sure. Were they tall boy natties?
No, they weren't tall boys. We weren't that psycho, but yeah.
Anyhow, the point is we're in a celebratory mood, and I don't know what win 2 of your first 3 games. You think
okay.
How about that?
All right.
Pretty standard. That's fine.
So that would be the happy hour show for Boston College.
Yeah.
The BC happy hour show. If we are at minimum 2-1.
Yeah. I mean, now I'll grant you, I'm nominating Corey for that because he's not here, but I think he'd do that.
The gallbladder's gone. He can do it.
Yeah. Well, he's got to stop being so soft. So yeah. I think I agree with you. I think it'll be good times, and I look forward to it. I'm happy to be back talking about football. Happy to be here with everybody. Happy to listen. We made it. We made it. It's the crossing that finish line. I saw a live spectator brought it up earlier, the long, hot summer, the finish line of the long, hot summer. Well, it'd still be hot, but yes, we're crossing that line to where now you can distract yourself from the heat and say, hey, there's a game on. Let's go in and watch this game. Let's step inside and catch some football, shall we? Sometimes it is the leisurely, the casual. And this is where I tend to remind myself and let it wash over me, wrap myself in that comfort blanket, right? That moment where let's say you're getting a pizza to go, Tom. I got to get a pizza to go.
All right. There you
go. Happens.
It does.
It does happen. So
it's a tough thing to be riding shotgun, the pizza box. Ooh, man.
Yeah,
we got to get home fast.
Yeah. So pizza to go. You're like, all right. Oh, but my wife might say, don't feel like cooking tonight. Go get us a pizza to go. This is where you love it. You walk in, said pizza place, whatever your cup of tea is, and you sit down and you're like, oh, there's a football game on. Well, I'm waiting on my pizza to go. There's a little football game on. I think I'll watch it. Maybe have a cold one while I wait on this pizza and watch some football. It's just joyous to be able to do it. Just to be able to do it. Not like, all right, they got the tennis on, I see. Okay. I mean, you know what I mean?
That's not really a pizza. That's
what I'm saying. It's like you go into places. Now, I love baseball, so I can do it, but usually it's not my team that's on it. If they are, they're losing by 10. So
no, but baseball and pizza don't go together.
No, football and pizza does.
Yeah. On a Friday night.
Yeah.
Watching some ACC football.
Oh, the network from top to bottom, buddy.
As you used to say, a little Colgate in Syracuse. There you go.
I would do it.
I would too. There's a way to make that interesting.
It's fun. Well, there's a way to make every game interesting. I was asked a question on Twitter. I gave this answer as we start the show. I wanted to alleviate some fears here. Sean he said that he was worried that we're overlooking the game. That and he didn't mean you and me specifically, but he wrote, I'm hearing everybody talk about Duquesne as a glorified scrimmage and skipping over to LSU. I get that, but I'm afraid dismissing Duquesne will end up as another J-State game. Am I right to be concerned? And my response was, Sean, while I understand the origins of your concern, I must say that I think you're free to look ahead, or at the very least sit back and enjoy the game this Saturday with little to fear. Yeah, I mean, that's what I would.
And by this Saturday, you mean tomorrow?
Yeah, I do. 2:00 pregame show, Hotel Indigo. Our partners at Hotel Indigo aren't having it. They are kicking ass. It's a beautiful. Look at that backdrop. If you're watching on Warchant TV, you get the picture there. You can see the drinks on the bar there. You look back there, you see Doak Campbell Stadium. Then you see the spot where we'll be over there by the ledge. That's going to be great.
Director Matthews, like, my God, with the graphics, there's so many things happening.
Just boom, boom, hit them. So yeah. There it is. I mean, you get that opportunity to sit back. You come up and visit us. It's on the 7th floor. You take the elevator there. You go up. You get that cross breeze when you get up there,
yes.
Which is really nice.
It helps.
It does.
It's quite a few degrees cooler up there than it would be on the ground.
Our friends from Zaxby's will do the right thing there.
And there's plenty of indoor space if there's bad weather or if you just want real bona fide air conditioning. There's plenty of space, and that's where the buffet is going to be as well. So you can do the indoor-outdoor thing. It's all you. It's whatever you want it to be.
Well, it's the home opener, and I get that it's Duquesne, and, I don't know if it's probably not a sellout, I guess. I know the home opener you'd like to think
Student tickets bought all their stuff up. Well,
yeah.
they claimed all their stuff. Good.
Yeah. What I would tell you is that I hope it's close to a sellout. Obviously, we haven't given the folks much to be excited about in their trek to Tallahassee over the last handful of years, but there is something to that energy. Start of football, something to you feel it when you're out there on the deck and you got the intramural fields right there in front of you with everybody gathering yet again. I mean, it's a ceremony. It's a beautiful thing. It's a tradition that my dad's coming into town today. He called me last night right before I went to bed. He's like, "Hey, son, what time should I get there?" And I was like, "Well, you got to be here by happy hour." He's, "I'll be there. I'll make sure I'm there. I just wanted to be sure that you're going to be at the corner pocket." I was like, I am. Yes. We'll be there to have our Guinness. So.
Is he on the road then by now?
Oh, it doesn't take him that long to get here. No, he's probably going to be on the road in about an hour.
2 hours?
It takes about 3 hours. So pretty close. 3? Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he'll be here. He'll be here in time.
Better hop to it if he's listening.
Get to, Dad. But he was trying to talk my ear off about the upcoming season. I said, "You're going to stay with me this weekend. I'm going to bed. You're retired. I'm not. I'm up early. I'm going to bed. I'll tell you all about what I think Florida State's going to do this year when you get to the house and we hang out."
Buddy, you'll be so proud. It's just a continuation of the maturation. But this morning, my eyes opened up before the alarm, 5:58. I was up and at 'em and ready to go.
Proud of you, buddy.
And you know what I did?
Yeah.
I turned on a streaming movie in the background as I was doing morning stuff. It's been a wall-to-wall day, getting all the preparations ready. Warrior. I put on Warrior.
Great movie.
Because I said, you know what? Let's have a little uplifting morning.
Oh, well, I mean, there's some darkness in that movie, but
in the end, though, it's all about that journey.
Yeah. Wow. Good for you.
Yeah, that's how today started.
I woke up at 5:24, 6 minutes before my alarm, which is typically how it happens. My eyes open. I hate the alarm. I hate it so bad that my brain goes, "Ooh, no. It's about to happen."
Do you punish yourself with a brutal alarm sound?
Oh, yeah. It's got to be enough to piss you off.
Yeah.
I hate it. It's like it's an irrational hatred that I have for the alarm. It's a person that offends me. It's this. So my brain has figured out, like, no, we're not doing that. We're not hearing this alarm. I take great satisfaction in if my eyes open at 5:12 or something like that. I'm like, beat you, suck it, get you some alarm.
My one semester at Iona, there was it was a bunk bed situation because it was one of those places that has a common area, 3 rooms, and you're just all stacked together. It's a bunch of filth. It's ridiculous.
It's awful.
So I was top bunk. So I decided in college the only way I was going to be motivated now that I didn't have anybody pounding on my door in the morning to say, "Let's go," was to put the phone down at my desk. So I had to hop down every morning And if I rolled over and ignored it, my roommate, Richard, was furious. He goes, Tom, I'm not going to warn you again, man. I'm going to throw that phone at you.
I would too, though.
Yeah,
That's
and
he's
he's
fair.
right.
He's
And
right.
he was right.
Yeah,
He was
that's
right.
not cool. Jeff, Tom, is it just me, but I'm feeling something that I haven't felt in years prior to a season opener. It's a good feeling, a hopeful feeling, one that hasn't been there in years. Is it just me? Well, Jeff, I had a hopeful feeling before we faced Virginia Tech. Going into Doak Campbell Stadium, everybody felt very, very excited and uplifted about the upcoming matchup against Virginia Tech. And we know what happened.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jeff, if your feeling is that we're going to go 1-0, well, then it's not just you.
I agree.
And it is a different feeling. That is a very different feeling.
What do you have to see tomorrow? Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, yay football. Welcome back football. Here we go. I mean, I'm with you. It's time to get down to business now. I obviously, the first and foremost, everybody is on the same page with this. You got to get through the game without any major injuries. At the end of the day, the LSU game is the one that we're all pointing towards, and for good reason. Listen, I look at it both ways. There are some that are just cautiously optimistic, and they get mad if you're dismissive of anybody, especially on the heels of having the most embarrassing loss in program history to Jacksonville State. They will never forget it. It's imprinted in their brain. It will be for the evermore. I got it. But the truth is, this isn't a game. And if it is, then we're in a world of hurt, and you can just lock it up and not come out again, because at that point, we are a busted program who should fire everybody on this staff. There's no chance. If that game is 17-all in the fourth quarter, I'm done. That's it. I will call for all of them to be fired immediately. There is no chance this game can be close.
You will attach a pitchfork to the car that we're riding in to New Orleans. There will be a pitchfork attached to it.
No, it's just insane. There's what kind of no, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen.
Michael, why? Michael, no.
Oh,
no.
Listen, he would maybe resign after the game if that was happening. I mean, that's nuts. No,
we were good in no aspects. In no aspects were we good.
No, I mean, can you imagine the first question?
Would there need to be one? That's an opening statement.
Mike, did you resign? I mean, that'd be my first question. Did you resign after the game?
Why is Jimbo here? Michael, why? Michael, no.
So anyhow, it's not going to happen. I don't even want to entertain it and bring anybody down in the dumps or anything like that. It's a happy day. But what you want is to get through this game. You obviously want to get some quality reps. You want to see guys execute, take care of business. This is truly one of those games where cliches apply. It's about taking care of business and working on what you're working on. They're not the issue here. Everybody's got to play good, sound assignment football, be smart, do what you're supposed to do, and everything will take care of itself. Let's hope they do that, and they do so. And listen, football games, I mean, they're played by people. Mistakes are made. You could see them get off to a slow start or something weird. I wouldn't fret over it, but they haven't played in a football game in a long time. It happens. It's whatever. Maybe there's a tip pass or something weird. Maybe you get down there and you miss a field goal or something. Again, no big deal. Just continue to execute. That's all I care about, because the score will take care of itself if you do that. But I also want to see a lot of those backups. I want those kids to get opportunities. I want to see Tate Rodemaker play a lot because he's a guy that they may have to turn to at some point. And I know you're not learning a lot physically in this game, but getting an opportunity to play with that second team, or maybe even a little bit with the first team, just interesting to see how they work this in case he has to go out there and play. You want to gain a little confidence. I liken it to what I said to Corey the other day. Listen, if you're struggling as a hitter in baseball and you go yard off a guy with an ERA of 15 who's struggling to get anybody out, it doesn't change the way you feel the next time you step in the box after hitting that home run. You feel better. You feel good. You feel confident. You're not sitting around thinking, well, he can't get anybody out. You're thinking, I hit that ball 420 feet. All right, here we go. So that's it's human nature. So go execute, play well, and move on and get the other guys in there. Get the backups in there.
Go get the other guys in there.
Yeah,
there it is.
I remember everybody who's played organized sports, you've probably been on bad teams, good teams, and middling teams, right? When you were on the good teams and you were playing the bad teams, doesn't matter the sport, your coach always talked about it being about you and not giving them any hope. Go out there, execute, step on their neck. Don't let them sit around thinking they got any chance. You don't want to have to do that. You don't want to have to deal with that. People begin to tree, as I call it, play way above their heads when they start believing that the impossible is possible. Well, don't give them any of that. But the other thing they always talked about was, this being sort of it's a business affair. Like, we're going to take care of our business so that other kids can get in. I remember being excited to watch freshmen play, or, in some cases, like at big time college football, having a walk-on get a chance to play. Like, if you're friends with these guys, they work hard. They all work their ass off in practice. They're out there as tackling dummies half the time. This is their chance. This is their time to shine. Once the starters take care of business, kick that ass, get a big lead, let these dudes get out there. What a moment. A lot of these guys won't get a chance to play again this year. If they do, very sparingly.
Well, if they do, that means we're going 9-3, buddy.
I sure hope so. But yeah, man, I that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about a lot of that. And then we move ahead, and you get excited. It's also a chance to show that, and they to some degree did, but lessons were learned. The coaching staff learned their lesson from last year, and the players learned their lesson from last year, that you really, haven't accomplished anything. Why would you ever overlook anybody, regardless of what I think about what I think the score is going to be or the talent disparity? Those players they haven't had a winning season. Coach hasn't had a winning season here. So treat the game seriously and get out there and execute. You're not too good for this game.
No, I think the overriding theme is get the other guys in there, because if they're in there, that means you've done everything right up to that point.
Yeah.
You've pleased the coaching staff to the point that they're okay with it. It's not just about the scoreboard. It's about the way things are being run. All right, you've done enough. Perfect.
Yeah.
Check in, check out, and on to New Orleans.
Which is weird to say. We'll be in New Orleans this time next week.
Strange.
Oof. I don't want to get out ahead of myself.
Pace yourself.
Hey, Jeff Culhane is the new play-by-play announcer for Florida State. And big shoes to fill, to say the least, right? He has been here now and acclimated himself to Tallahassee. He's been down at practice. I've seen him several times. I've had the good fortune of talking with him. Corey Clark wrote an article previewing his debut tomorrow on Warchant.com. You can read that. And I talked to him this morning, and you're going to hear that interview next on the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV. Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future. So let's say you're considering buying a new home in the current climate. We've all heard that demand is high, inventory is low. So how do you get a leg up on the rest of the buyers all making offers on the same house as you? Oh, that's a toughie. But the first place I'd suggest you start is with a call to my friend Shannon at Legendary Home Loans. Shannon will set you up with a complete pre-approval underwriting. It used to be an upgrade, but nowadays it's got to be standard. You want to get your offer on a new home pushed to the front of the line, you need a TBD full underwriting approval from Legendary Home Loans. You'll shorten or even remove your financing contingency, and the sellers will know that your offer is real and ready to go. It's tough out there these days, folks, so why not have the advantage of a proven winning team in your huddle? Get pre-approval underwriting from my friend Shannon with the one and only Legendary Home Loans. Call now, 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or just visit FSUHomeLoans.com. FSUHomeLoans.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS number 2270146.
T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com. We conquer all peaks. We fix those darn leaks. Call 850-766-1340. T-Spark Enterprises, roofing and construction services. T-Spark, T-SparkConstruction.com.
License number CCC 1331204.
Football at El Jalisco, football at El Jalisco, what a combination. It's a great big celebration. It's football at El Jalisco. I can dig it. Who's playing? Oh, man, everybody. The ACC, the SEC, all he sees. And even the pros, the Bucks, the Steelers, the Giants, the Cowboys. Wow, far out. You bet, man. When the game is on, he's on at El Jalisco with incredible specials on everything from frosty cervezas to salty margaritas. Does Margarita know? Dios mío, not again. The best place to watch the game is El Jalisco. College, pros, Monday night, Thursday night, you name it, El Jalisco is football headquarters. And with 5 Tallahassee area locations, there's probably an El Jalisco right around the corner right now.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready.
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody knows who Patty and Scott.
I don't know. This is Patty Wilson. Not this is. I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Back, Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. Happy Libations Friday, everybody. We made it. Here we sit on the precipice of college football, Florida State football, most importantly, just a day away. And I thought it'd be a good opportunity to talk to the new voice of the Noles. Jeff Culhane is going to join me right now. In fact, if you haven't read Corey Clark's article on our website, warchant.com, you should. And after this, you'll be all caught up on who Jeff Culhane is between the interview and that article. Jeff, how are you? Good afternoon, buddy.
I'm doing good, Jeff. It's Friday, like you talked about. There's always a different feeling before this first one. And I'm excited is a good term, and I don't think it does justice how fired up I am to get this season started. Happy to be on.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure to get to know you just a little bit. We see each other at football practice, I know, and you've told me a little bit about your efforts to get acclimated to Tallahassee, get your family here from North Dakota, of course. And for people who haven't read the article, you've been the voice of the Bison, national championship rings, plural, and season after season of success. What made you think, you know what? It's time to mix it up, because I don't dismiss where you were and what you accomplished. You were the voice of an incredibly proud and successful program. You saw the opportunity, obviously put your name in the hat. Were you at all trepidatious about that, or did you think immediately, this is an opportunity I can't pass up?
No, just like you said, the latter there. Looking at, my career path and where I wanted to go, being at a place like Florida State was always the dream. And, to your point, I had a great job. We had a great life in Fargo. We were around great people. We were around amazing coaches and student athletes and administrators. And Jeff, there were days, driving home a lot of the time through a lot of snow and wind, where thinking to myself, I think we could be here for the rest of our lives. We were in that spot. But when Gene announced his retirement in March, something clicked inside of me, and this was an opportunity I couldn't pass up. And, Florida State is one of the elite and one of the blue bloods in college athletics. You know all the history. You talk about the national championships and the amazing, stars and Bobby Bowden and all the coaches. And it's been amazing to get to meet Jim Gladden and Mickey Andrews and so many people around Florida State's football program. I talked with E.G. Green last night. Could have talked to him for 4 or 5 hours. You guys all know the names. And so, it was a situation where in my career arc, I wanted to be at a place that where it matters. And this is a place where certainly it does, and ready to roll tomorrow night.
How long ago, Jeff, because I get asked this question sometimes, if you're a broadcaster of any kind, if you're in the business, people want to know when you realized that you wanted to do that and when you thought it was possible. How far back do we go in the childhood of Jeff Culhane before we find a young man who wanted to be a broadcaster and is now living out his dream?
Yeah, the radio was always on, Jeff, in our house, man. It was always on in the mornings for whatever reason. My dad turned it on. You know, every morning we woke up and went to school, we were listening to the radio station. We were listening to games on the weekends with our local high school and colleges in town and in the area. And so, you know, for whatever reason, broadcasting and sports has always been a big part of my life. I played college football, 1 year of college baseball. I always knew I wanted sports to be a part of who I was on a day-to-day basis at a young age. And so my first job in radio, I was 14 years old, working a weekend part-time shift at an oldies station called KORN in Mitchell, South Dakota, the home of the Corn Palace. So that's very appropriate. The Mitchell Kernels, Corn Kernels, by the way, the name of our the mascot, our nickname of our high school team. And so, you know, young age, a lot of just bizarre connections to the industry. My dad, as I talked about with the radio, he did some games with high school football, high school basketball. He's also a public address announcer in our hometown. An uncle of mine who gave me my first full-time job out of college was in TV and radio growing up as well. And so just kind of always around it. And then I think when I decided I wanted this to be something I did every single day would have been, you know, in college. I started doing games when I was 18, again, at the local station I talked about. And, you know, when you get to be sophomore, junior in college, you're thinking, okay, I got to figure this thing out. I got to decide I'm going to make some money here coming up. And I made the choice that this is where I wanted to go. This is the path I wanted to follow. And it was, you know, a little bit after that where I decided, you know, I want to be at a place like Florida State where it's big time college athletics. And what a blessing to be here right now.
Well, you've entered into the mix now, good sir, and a lot of people are anxious and excited to hear from you. And, of course, most people over time fall in love eventually with the play-by-play announcer or certainly get a sense of who he is and what he's about. How would you describe your style? What would you say people are who are looking forward to hearing from you tomorrow? Can't believe we're finally here, Jeff. It's exciting. I know how anxious and excited you are. How would you describe your stylings, I should say, as a broadcaster?
Yeah, preparation. I enjoy to prepare. I think that I think every broadcaster would tell you they over prepare to a certain degree, but that's an important aspect of doing this the right way. So being prepared. I like to have, you know, some storylines. I call them nuggets. I like to have a saucy nugget or two within the broadcast of each game that we have, and so that's a big part. Whether it's a statistic, whether it's a fun storyline, whether what the connections are between the two programs playing one another, right? And so you know, that's where it starts. Energetic. I like to bring a lot of energy. Not over the top, but certainly want to do justice to the amazing plays and the amazing moments when they happen, right? And then have fun. I mean, it's about having a good time. I want you, when you're listening or watching our behind the mic cams that are going to be in the booth this year, I want you to enjoy being there with us. And so we're going to paint the picture. We're going to be descriptive. We're going to be prepared, and we're going to have some fun in bringing you what we see out there on the field or on the court.
And you get to do it alongside one of my close, dear friends, ex-teammate of mine way back when, all the way to when we were pipsqueaks and then on into high school, and my hometown guy, William Floyd. I know you've been able to go out to dinner with William. Have you gotten to know him to the point where you feel like you can reel him in when he gets overly passionate, shall we say, about his Noles?
He said when you guys were in high school, you would have won 11-0 and won your first playoff game if you'd have played better, Jeff, is what he told me.
That's what he said.
That's what he told me. I don't know. I didn't see that one.
I have a retort, but I will save it for another day. Yes. And we have talked about it many times, he and I, over a cold one. But yes, it's good to know that he's fibbing on me.
Yes, no, yeah, exactly. But I have, and you know, I tell you what, you talk about energy. bar none's going to bring the juice, man. He's going to bring the juice. And so I can't wait to just interact with him. You know, his knowledge of the game, obviously, the way he sees it through his lens, obviously the talent on the football field that he possessed when he was here at Florida State and playing in the National Football League. I mean, there's not many guys out there that win national championships, win a Super Bowl. He's an FSU Hall of Famer, an ACC legend. And so I can't wait just to kind of, a lot of this is going to be about the play-by-play, but also a lot of this, especially early on, is going to be me listening and leaning on Barnum and Tom. And those are the guys that have been around. Those are the guys that certainly fans know and are accustomed to. And so, a big part of this too is I'm not going to make this about me. It's not about me. It's about us, and it's about the fans and the players. And so I'm certainly going to take my fair share of time, teeing those guys up and setting them up and trying to put them in great positions to succeed as well.
I'm glad you mentioned Tom Block. He's another dear friend of mine and helped me when I broke into the industry. These are two guys that have a passion and a love and a historical knowledge of Florida State. So it's great to hear you say that, because I think they're the kind of guys that go out of their way to make sure they paint that picture for guys that are new to the deal, new to Florida State, And so it'll be fun to listen to you guys grow together and get to know each other. And I'll just tell our audience right now listening, Jeff's a great guy. I've had a chance to talk with him, like I said at the start of the interview, at practices. He's a humble, hardworking guy who's trying to take it all in. And there's a lot here at Florida State. So I'm looking forward to hearing your broadcast on Saturday as well. I just wanted folks to get to know you a little bit, Jeff. We'll continue to get to know each other. Best of luck to you in your first broadcast here at Florida State. A lot of people will be listening. A lot of people excited to hear you. Thanks for joining us today, man. Be good.
Yeah. Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me on. Appreciate the kind words, and go Noles.
Go Noles.
8:30 a.m., an LCSO's aviation unit conducted a flyover. Local officials, staff, families, and friends of fallen deputies were in attendance. The popular Bradfordville Dog Park could be closed for up to 2 months as Leon County works to install fencing around the 3 stormwater ponds there. The park was closed August 19th after a dog that visited got sick from a flesh-eating mold called Pythium. Vets say the prognosis for animals with Pythium is poor, and the dog in question may have to have his leg amputated. Leon County Commissioner Brian Welch tweeted about the possible contamination and later announced new signage and fencing would be going up to try to keep pets and people out of the water permanently. The county has sampled the water and is still awaiting results from the University of Florida. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MclemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast. Daytime highs approaching 88, northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight. Lows dip down to about 73. Cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow. Daytime highs approaching 89. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 88.
If you're a business owner of any kind, you need advanced fire protection services. We are AFPS, and we provide high-quality life safety services throughout Northwest Florida, and we've been doing it since 1989, with offices now in Tallahassee. Fire sprinklers, fire alarms, fire extinguishers, hood suppression systems, and emergency exit lights. For all of your life safety equipment, we've got you covered 24/7. We are Advanced Fire Protection Services. For a free life safety system evaluation, visit WeSaveLives.com. That's WeSaveLives.com.
Jeff Cameron Show.
Oh, hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Warchant. Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
Chattanooga, Tennessee. Pastor Tabner was alone with a female church employee. She in a towel and he in his boxers. The charismatic 41-year-old Hurley explained the two of them had been making chili and gotten food on the plate. With the hot dogs that they were making, we are hoping that the pastor used the right condiments.
Think? There was at least one hot dog involved.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're just making chili dogs.
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road, and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Joe had him jump on here and talk with him about his debut. He's got to be excited. What a great opportunity. I got to imagine he's nervous too. Those are massive shoes to fill. I do like noting in Corey's article, and it's not surprising at all, but Gene Deckerhoff, of course, has been nothing but a saint in all of this and welcoming him and showing him the ropes, introducing him to people, and getting him acclimated to Seminole surroundings. Jeff was at every practice and that I was at, and I don't think he's missed one anyhow. And he's certainly had an opportunity to pick the brains of a lot of people who've covered Florida State football and watched these practices. So he'll know the team. He'll know the team tomorrow for sure.
Miss the voice of Gene Deckerhoff, especially the pregame and postgame stuff, because that's when I could listen. Usually we were busy in the press box or whatever. But if I was driving somewhere, I'd hear him and he'd be setting up and like, after these messages. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to hear that on Saturdays. One more year of Sundays with the Bucks, which are right here on these airwaves at 93.3.
That's correct.
Real Talk 93. But yeah, it's he seems like an earnest guy who wants to uphold the tradition, which is all you can ask for. And I think he's got the chops to do it. So we'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah, and he has no say in this or part of it, but I'm going to hold him accountable. I'd like to see some wins, Jeff. We're going to need some wins out of you. There's been way too many losses lately. Let's not come in here half-stepping. Let's get behind the mic and start winning some football games. We all got to do our part. If you're on a message board, an email account, a Twitter account, the radio airwaves here at 93.3, you name it. If you're in a Facebook Nole group, whatever it might be, however you spend countless hours, probably too many, worrying about Florida State, there we got to all pull together to make this happen. No more pussyfooting. Some damn wins around here. Tired of it.
What do you think his first bowl game is going to be? What bowl game is Jeff Culhane going to call this year?
The Tax Slayer Bowl in Jacksonville when we beat Tennessee after an 8-4 campaign.
My prediction made no sense on the Warchant report. We had all of our picks, and you made yours from the deck at Indigo, which there's going to be more content from there shortly here today.
Mm-hmm.
But I went with my W's and L's pick. You can't be inconsistent at that point. If W's and L's says 9, then I can't say 7 on the Warchant report.
Yeah, that would be wrong.
That'd be dumb.
Yeah.
But I don't think if you win 9 games in the regular season, you can possibly be in the Pinstripe Bowl. I think you're overqualified at that point for the
which would be a
Bowl.
great bowl, man.
Yeah.
I want to go to that, but yeah.
But I said Pinstripe Bowl because that was Hope talking. It's on the 29th of December.
I don't want to steal your hope, man.
You could be up there for New Year's.
It would be great. Well,
you go to a rooftop bar and you watch the craziness. You're not amongst the people.
I don't need all that.
Yeah.
I've never wanted to be. I've had 2 friends who did it, and they were like, no. Never do that. The problem is peeing.
That's right. Yes, people bring,
because they don't let you out of your little squares. You
Right.
you cannot leave.
They bring portable bladders.
Well, think about this. You're there all day in the freezing cold. You're not able to move, and you're probably celebrating. You're gonna have to go to the bathroom, but you can't leave at a certain point. No.
And you got to hold up stupid fitness cards, because it's not. Orange Theory doesn't do that.
No.
And if they did, it'd be awesome, but they don't, so it's not.
No. Speaking of Orange Theory, I got after it today, Tom. I kicked that workout's ass. Nobody took a picture with me for the thing that we're doing online there for Garden Gold.
Okay. Nobody came and ran you down, huh?
No, but a guy did send a picture of the Zaxby sauce. He was mad at me for teasing small towns yesterday.
I think that might be our winner.
And then, but he was great. I loved it. It was fantastic. He was he wasn't smiling. He gave me that look.
No,
he was mad at me.
He was.
That's all right.
Dour.
I make fun of Tampa every day on the show and St. Pete too. I mean, good God, I'm an equal opportunity offender. But the point would be that
Lutz.
yeah, but the whole thing. It was he was great. I loved his response, man. He played along. It was
Carrollwood?
Yeah, Carrollwood, really?
Lutz?
That's still my favorite, him just blurting out Lutz. Because those of us from there were like, yeah, right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Holiday?
Fun times. So we did a segment yesterday from Hotel Indigo, partly because, yes, we wanted to promote where we were and what we're doing and all of those things. But, Tom, we had it was a short little thing. We were out there just making sure everything worked. But I wanted to say that you'll see it here in a few minutes. We're also promoting what's next hour, which is Dominic Robinson next hour.
Yep.
So we're busy today.
We're loaded. There's going to be some bumper music to make sure we land all these things right, but we still got 4 good minutes now.
Well, good. I just didn't know what because we're drifting. It's tough. Today's a weird day. A lot of pieces to the puzzle. Trying to make sure you get. Somebody's noting their liver deserves more championships or more wins. I like that we're in tip-top shape as we enter the season here. We've both been pretty good.
What do you know? A guy named Ian McGregor talking about a liver.
Mm-hmm.
And I say that as 98% Irish. So, I can say that.
Are you worried everybody's going to get angry?
I'm just giving you my credentials.
Yeah. Hey, they're going to win the game tomorrow, guys. Let's concentrate on that one. Let's work on the one game at a time approach, admittedly. Yes, I've been looking ahead to LSU because I'm assuming a win here, and I think I can safely do that. But I am gonna tell you this is true too. I'm going to enjoy the game tomorrow. I know that it's not much of a contest. We have started the last however many seasons with a loss. I know that's in September typically, but hey, it's a first game. It'd be nice to win one. Just give me a win.
That's
the first game. Sweet Jesus. We'll start with something small.
DeAndre Francois, DeMarcus Walker. Those were the key players last time. You were 1-0.
In Orlando.
You haven't been 1-0. When's the last time you were 1-0 in Tallahassee?
And it was stressful as all hell because we were getting trounced.
Mm-hmm.
That was the weirdest game. I remember thinking,
we changed locations.
What are we doing here?
Where was the second half? You remember where the second half of that game
No,
was?
but I tailgated at that. It was a fun game. My wife was with me at that game. We went together.
Which one?
Not that.
Not that one.
What game was I at in Orlando?
I don't know.
Yes.
Did you go to a spring game?
No, I was at the Notre Dame game.
Oh, the bowl game in 11?
Yes. So what am I thinking about there? Well, I don't like Orlando. I tend to try to forget it. I hate lots of towns.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
we changed locations here in Tallahassee. That was
that's right.
My car broke down in McDonough, Georgia, on a holiday.
So you're partly responsible for all the traffic in McDonough.
It was a holiday. The only thing that was open was a dealership, and this guy Brian was the best. He's like, "Don't tell him you're taking this rental car out of the state. Just go." Thank you. You're a kind man.
Very kind man. Where did you? So McDonough.
I went to McDonough. It was a dealership that it was the only thing that was open. It was Labor Day. There was no auto parts store open. It was dead. Yeah,
the seasons have not begun in a way that left a good taste in your mouth. Everything has been bitter. Everything has been difficult. Tomorrow will not be that. Now, I would argue, and I've said this before, you can achieve whatever it is you're trying to achieve with a week 0 game, and it doesn't need to be against an opponent that is as outmatched as Duquesne. I would have preferred we take on, say, Troy, somebody of that.
I don't know.
Come on, man. You picked them to win 9 games, Tom. You can't think that we were going to lose to Troy.
A big part of the 9 games is the ramp up. It's that ramp up. The Duquesne ramp up is very nice. Also, that's the undergrad in me speaking, where Buster Davis had to intercept a pass. Troy had the ball with a chance to win with under a couple minutes to go. Back in 06? I think it was 06.
Yeah, we've screwed around with some of these.
If you look at the last 15 years, it's mostly suck.
Yeah. Well, and that's been brought up by many an astute observer in the chat and in email and tweets. Like, hey, Jeff, listen, I got it. We won 29 in a row in there, won a national championship, made the first ever college football playoff, and all that is great. And it was our 3rd national title and all that years of success. But there have been pockets of windows here where it hasn't been great. Well, tomorrow will be great. We'll be fine. It's Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Widden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Widden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
When I get home from work, I'm ready to relax. So I call Swain Pools and Spas to put my pool in the back. I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
Truckloads of new and used Caldera and Hot Spring Spas are available now at Swain Pools and Spas. Don't wait. Get to Swain Pools and browse the best inventory to find the spa of your dreams. These won't last long, so come see us today. Just look for the huge sign on Tharp Street or call 386-7113 for Swain Pools and Spas.
I know what you're thinking right now. Where can I find a place to get my car fixed and also check out some awesome new hot tubs and spas while I wait? Well, you're in luck. Because when you bring your car or truck in to get serviced at Tallahassee Car Care, it's under the same roof as Swain Pools and Spas for tires, brakes, bowders, tune-ups, oil changes, and all the service you need to get back on the road. Choose the certified technicians at Tallahassee Car Care. Drop by our shop on Tharp Street or visit online at TallahasseeCarCare.com.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn at Finn Chiropractic. Wanted to let you guys know chiropractic doesn't just get rid of back pain, neck pain, and headaches. It could help with sleep. It could help with digestion. Maybe you have pain down your arm. But chiropractic is one of the safest, most natural, most effective ways to get to the root cause of your problem. So if you're a loved one or having a problem, even if you think we might not be able to help, make a new patient appointment today at FinnChiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com. Because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
The weather is unpredictable and can cause issues around your home. Weston Trawick provides commercial, residential, and industrial electrical wiring services, yearly inspections on fire alarms, portable generator sales, and so much more. With 24/7 emergency service and repair, Weston Trawick will be your calm in the storm. Give them a call at 514-0003. Weston Trawick, professional electrical services day or night. Visit online at westontrawick.com.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Back, Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3, Warchant TV. If you're watching, as always, like and subscribe. As you can see, a little bit different setting than the rest of the show. We wanted to give you an indicator, just a little taste. We're at Hotel Indigo. The top floor. You guys will be welcome to come on by right here for the pregame show on Saturday against Duquesne. We'll be here for all the home games. Really looking forward to it. It's exciting. There'll be food and drinks, fellow Noles celebrating the return of football, as you could well imagine. And us, we'll be here, and the Warchant crew will be here. So good times, and Zaxby's will be here as well.
As always, man, Zaxby's owns the day on Saturday. The one thing I would say to the folks out there, the Zoom is going to be fixed. We had to do some rebooting and stuff.
Yeah.
This is a wider shot, but you get to see it.
You get the sense. Look back
So
behind
I
you.
like this for today's purposes because look at the tailgate lots, and then you see Doak right over the ledge here. It's the 7th floor at Hotel Indigo.
Lots
it's
changed.
a fantastic atmosphere. You're going to have a cash bar. There's going to be buffet service. So if you're hungry, if you're thirsty, you're covered here. There's also a good breeze up here. More so than on the pavement on the first floor. So can't stress that enough. It's going to be a good day.
Room to my right that you can't see. Plenty of room up here to walk around and everybody kind of hang out with their fellow Noles. And, you know, we've spent however much time talking about this game, the return to the season and all the excitement. Well, feel that excitement here, Hotel Indigo, and walk right over there and watch the Noles get a big win. In terms of the score. I like Florida State, obviously, to cruise in this game and just knock on wood. Everybody comes out of this game healthy.
That's it. That's the
the only thing you're really looking for at that point.
Injuries followed by pre-snap penalties, looking sloppy in a way that would be alarming because this is continuity. They've had continuity for several seasons. And then the other thing is, if and when the backups come in, how does 18 look at quarterback? That would be the next thing for me.
Well, and I think the snaps we need to look at also.
True.
We need
That's
to look
true.
at snapping. Yeah. I think for folks going into a game where you're, if there were a line, Florida State be favored by 50, whatever it might be, you could probably get an offshore line. Probably somebody already has. I didn't look. It's not a game that I'll be using on the service, Tom. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But what I would tell you is that you're looking for the little things to clean up to make sure you're good to go when you play LSU. And first and foremost, since you've had some situations at center, you're going to want to make sure that Washington can snap the ball.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. It's almost like you can't learn anything except bad news when you play a team like Duquesne or the Citadel or, Savannah State, whatever. You name the team. Even if the snaps are good on Saturday, I still won't know what I'm looking at because
he's not worried about who's across.
You're not you're not dealing with an NFL player across the line of scrimmage for you. Darius Washington or Thomas Schrader, whoever, is not going to be concerned. If there's no news, that's good news for now. But then, spoiler alert, next week when we're doing the shows out there yonder, I'm still going to be nervous about New Orleans and what the snapping looks like.
Let me say this too. In the next hour, obviously, you guys will get a chance to hear from Dominic Robinson.
Yep,
that's always a good thing. And then, of course, I want to tell everybody is you can probably hear in the background someone on a motorcycle. 5:30 to 6:30, Corner Pocket Bar and Grill. Myself, Corey Clark. A little happy hour, just like we did a year ago. And I'm excited to be back over there amongst my folks at CP and having fun talking Florida State football. My dad rolling into town. It feels real now. All of this is real.
It will
We've
feel
got all this
real.
stuff done. Yeah.
6:31 p.m. or 6:27, depending upon when you guys say, all right, no mas, it's time, game day is upon us. That first sip of Guinness, oh, buddy, then it's going to feel real.
Yeah, it'll be good.
They should pay us. Guinness.
Well, the other thing is now that we're finally here and we've got our setup and we're going to be talking about what we're unveiling. I actually, and it's self-promotional, admittedly, I'm really excited to hear Dominic Robinson's efforts. And I'm not saying that because he's on part of the team now and all that, but Dominic is a thoughtful guy and a thoughtful analyst and a guy who cares deeply about how well the kids play, how well they execute, what they're attempting to do. And, you can probably get that if you've heard any of our interviews with him since he's jumped on board. But to hear him in a game, educating our fans, educating me, you, everybody involved with, the concepts of a certain play, we may think we know this, but I have a feeling he's got a little bit more intimate details about what's going on because he's had meetings with the coaches and talked to them about what they're trying to achieve with those looks. So that'll be really a cool and educational thing every Saturday.
Look, as somebody who hasn't played the game even close to the level you've played, and let alone anybody that's been to Florida State or whatever, I think I do pretty good at breaking football down and analyzing
football,
the game, and I understand the concepts, but it's not the same as somebody who not only has played at Florida State like Dominic, but also trains players and works out with players. It's about the nuance of the plays. I look forward to trading notes with him in the second half. Hopefully it's about mostly freshmen and backups and things of that nature, but it's going to be a full show. It starts at kickoff at 5 o'clock along with the game. If there's a weather delay, we'll ride it out with you. With it, we'll have a delay screen. Only when the plays are back.
If
there's a 3-hour weather delay, we'll put up a little screen and you guys can join us back. But we're going to have you from kickoff all the way to the end of this game on Saturday.
Well, and then the post game, and you'll be on that with Gene, and it should be a lot of fun. And obviously, fans can interact with you guys after the game and talk about their observations and ask their questions, and everybody will have a good time. So, again, a little taste of what we're going to be doing. We'll be here at Hotel Indigo for all the home games. Obviously, if you've got friends and family coming into town and they want to go to a game, make sure you book a place here at Hotel Indigo and come out here and enjoy the pregame every home game.
Yeah, you don't have to be.
You don't even have to be staying here, by the way. You can get them up. Yeah.
In the chat yesterday, is it open to the public? Hell yeah, it is. You come. It's 826 West Gaines. It's just Hotel Indigo College Town. That's the easy way to Google it. Get on the elevators. They're to your right as you walk in. 7th floor. Wrap around to the right, and you will see the buffet, the cash bar, and the atmosphere. We can't wait. You'll even see a guy in a chicken suit too.
See. You got to come now. It's a guy in a chicken suit. Libations Friday rolls on. Hour number 2 forthcoming. Stay with. And Warchant TV, warchant.com. I'm Jeff Cameron. In a moment, we're going to welcome in Dominic Robinson. You all remember him very well from his playing days at Florida State. He's with us now on warchant.com and Warchant TV. In fact, that's where I'll begin. Don't forget, the watch-along party will be doing pregame shows this Saturday. Myself and Tom Lang. The in-game show is that guy right there as he breaks down and analyzes personnel, the game as we watch along. It's a good thing. There you'll see it. The watch-along begins with the game at 5 p.m. Pregame show at Hotel Indigo, 2 o'clock. And right after the game concludes, about 10 to 15 minutes after it concludes, you get a post-game show as well with Tom Lang and G. Williams. So we've got you covered from start to finish. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Warchant TV and watch our latest show. Dominic Robinson, how are you, good sir?
Man, I'm super pumped.
Federal Reserve
I'm really excited.
Jerome Powell delivering
obviously,
a tough
I
message
created a
today.
little stir the last time I was on.
More large interest rate
so,
hikes
you know,
in
I'm
coming
excited
months. And be
to
focused
touch on
taming the highest
and
inflation
explain
in
a little
40
bit
years.
Higher interest
what my
rates,
comments
lower
were, but
growth,
really
and
just
labor
excited
market
to
conditions will
have
bring down
opportunities
inflation.
like this to go dig
It
a
will
little
also
bit
bring
deeper
some
than
pain to
sort
households
of the
and
typical
businesses.
talking
Also
heads,
at
guys that make
townhall.com,
these hot
Australian
sports
police
opinions,
report the country's
that
largest
are
ever
really
meth
backed in
seizure.
no
The
fact
haul of the drug
or really
estimated at
understanding of the
$1
game. They
billion.
just know it'll get
750 kilograms of the drug were found last month, hidden in a consignment of marble at Botany Bay in Sydney. Even more was discovered last week by the police on board a ship from the United Arab Emirates. In total, 1,800 kilograms were detected, which is Australia's biggest ever seizure of methamphetamine. It's the most widely used illicit drug in the country.
That's the BBC's Phil Mercer reporting from Sydney. COVID vaccine maker Moderna suing its main competitors, including Pfizer, accusing the rivals of copying Moderna's technology in order to make their own vaccine during the pandemic. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshares. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, well, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder and CEO of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. And the process started what's now called the timeshare cancellation industry. Timeshare is the only thing that you can buy that you can't tell me how much it's going to cost or when it's going to end. When you buy a timeshare, you give them a blank check to fill out any amount they want for annual maintenance and assessment fees. Sounds crazy, right? Well, the crazy thing is this never ends. Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. I guarantee if we can't cancel your timeshare, you'll pay nothing.
Were you lied to when buying a timeshare and want out? Get the facts about timeshare cancellation. Call Wesley now for your free information kit. 800-909-4747. 800-909-4747. 800-909-4747.
Let's take a minute to imagine all the things you can accomplish with help from Southeast Portable Buildings. Are you a hoarder? Hoard some more. Get a storage shed. Mother-in-law moving in with you? Put her in a shed out back. I'm kidding. Still working on that engine that you're going to finish from last summer? Move it out to a new workspace with Southeast Portable Buildings. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3.
Director Matthew in the house. If you're watching on Warchant TV, like and subscribe. Twitter, it's at Jay Cameron Show. Later today, 5:30 to 6:30, happy hour show. Myself, Corey Clark, at Corner Pocket Bar and Grill on Appalachian Parkway. Tomorrow morning, Tom will make his way over to Hotel Indigo, get things set up. 2 o'clock begins our pregame coverage. 5 o'clock in-game watch party as you listen and enjoy. Also watch Dominic Robinson, Tom Lang, Aslan, Javandi as well, all being part of this as they break down the game and then post-game show. So we got you covered from beginning to end. Looking forward to the start of the season. Of course, something I thought about during the break, I don't know, a friend of mine, Andrea Adelson, wrote a piece on ESPN, if you read that, about Mike Norvell attempting to return Florida State to its past football glory and the importance of this season. Of course, we all know that. Nothing new there. But she was talking about obviously the disparity between the ACC, the Big Ten, and the SEC, and it's a bad time to have losing seasons. Yes. And the importance for the conference that Florida State return to being an elite program as they've been in the past. And I think that's true, too. It is important for the conference if the conference is going to survive.
I was going to say, which conference?
The ACC, obviously. Yeah. Well, point is, while we're here, that would be beneficial to the ACC if we could be good. Now, I don't think we plan on being here long. And that's also pointed out as obviously Richard McCullough has recently said Florida State was, quote, doing anything that we can to think about how we remain competitive. Florida State is expected to win. We're going to be very aggressive when it came to securing the future of Florida State. Well, that's good. I want to hear that. I'd like to hear how aggressive. I almost would wish he would say obscenely aggressive. But I thought of something else, Tom. Let's get into this for a second. The part about the ACC needing Florida State to be good. The part about the ACC, for that matter, not written in this story, but it's true. I think you could extrapolate that out as well. They need Miami to be good. They need Clemson to be good. They need Virginia Tech to be good. It'd be cool if the teams that have real names in the world of college football were good again. Really good again. Now, why do I bring that up? All right, not because I want to be here long term.
For the negotiation for 2036 and beyond, of course.
Not because I think that this is in our best interest to stick around. It's not. No, of course not. And we can talk about the financial picture another day. That's not what I'm doing here. But we have oft lamented that it seems to me officials in this league don't know what's best for the conference. That 50-50 calls that more often than not do not go Florida State's way. Ought to. In close games against programs that mean nothing. Nothing to big-time college football, and certainly nothing financially to the ACC. Just as in basketball season, Duke and North Carolina seem to get all of the calls. Might we look a little closer at how we call Florida State games this year?
I think we should.
Yeah.
I think the Royal, everyone should. Not just you and me.
I would also note, Tom, and it's of great importance, that while you play a game against Duquesne tomorrow and the outcome is not in question, an overzealous official who decides that that is a spear or that a player led with the crown of his helmet could have an impact on whether or not Florida State's competitive against LSU the following week.
This is our concern, dude.
You're damn right. Because these dumbasses have been steady calling it wrong. And I don't even mean from a homer's perspective. I'm talking about the empirical evidence. I'm talking about the amount of times that post-game we've had to sit back rather incredulous and wait on an apology from the ACC or a missive being sent to the home office. Hey, man, what's your boy doing here? Think about the Wake Forest game alone last year. Sweet Jesus, they were going to guarantee there was no chance Florida State competed in that one. Now, we didn't help ourselves, once again, experimenting with quarterbacks. But the nonsense with the punter, the on-the-field tackle that was called off the field and a 15-yard penalty that led directly to points at the start of the game for Wake Forest, all that stuff. This is the stuff I'm talking about, man. No. Let's hope, and the NFL does this. The NFL has points of emphasis. The NFL will tell their officials, hey, look, in the last couple of years, defensive backs have gotten a little too handsy down the field. We want more offense, not less offense. Let's start enforcing the rule, illegal contact, whatever you got to do, if guys are getting a little bit too handsy down the field. Now, you don't have to like it, and I often don't. And I feel like defenders in the NFL are at a distinct disadvantage because of how much offense has been promoted. That's fine. My point is more about the points of emphasis that the league has. The rules were already on the books. They just decide to highlight certain rules that they've either been poorly applying or ignoring altogether. Hey, we're calling one too many holds per quarter, guys. It's getting out of control. Our highest profile player in Tom Brady a few years ago went to Twitter talking about a Monday Night Football game being unwatchable with the amount of holds that were called against the two teams, right? Something like 9 that night. They're like, what are we going to call holding after every play? What are we doing around here? And they dialed it back, didn't they? They chose to dial back the amount of times that officials looked for holding. I've always said you could call it on every play if you were inclined to.
Yeah, but if you're going to be as logical as you want for several days on end, I still don't have faith in this league office to get that right at all. And I'll give you an acronym akin to ACC. Anything conceivably close. Anything conceivably close. That is their point of emphasis. It has been since we were going to see Doug Rhodes 10 years ago now. It was 10 years ago that they moved the football on the field. And Doug said, well, it was fourth and forever anyway. That was his answer. The Bradham play.
Yeah.
Oh, well, targeting doesn't happen that often. So, we don't need a rule for it like a flagrant in which there would be a review. He said that. Before targeting was even a thing. He said, it doesn't happen often enough. You don't think targeting happens often enough now in the game of football?
Yeah.
It was laughable then. They're a laughable conference now.
Always have been. We're not relitigating that. It's that they're in a desperate position now where perhaps they don't exist in the very near future. So, desperate times, right? Look, necessity, the mother of invention. How about we start doing our jobs a little bit better?
Yeah.
Okay? Guys.
You think Jim Phillips is on a burner? Calling the head of officiating?
I mean, fellas, Florida State plays LSU next week. You're going to try to make a point against Duquesne on a 50-50? Stand down, sir. Stand down. Big boy football out here. People understand the deal. If you strap it up, you're going to get hit. People get hurt all the time. That's the game. That's the game. Duquesne took the money.
They are paid handsomely.
Took the money. This is not, they're not volunteers. They took the money.
At what point do players at a place like Duquesne say, hey, a little something for the trouble? If you guys are going to get $500,000, we're the ones getting our heads kicked in. Literally. I'm shaving years off of my life so you can make budget. And I'm grateful for the Scully, but wouldn't kill you to give me an extra stipend in September for all the blood and guts that are going to be on the field.
It is very, very strange. I'm not entirely certain if those kinds of meetings happen. I just know that in the National Football League, they do. And nobody ever says, well, that seems odd to me that you kind of willy-nilly in a given year just decide to emphasize this aspect of the rule book, but not this one, or to dial this back. Either it's a penalty or it's not, right? Like that's typically how we look at these things. But there are, and there is, all kinds of room for discretion. It's 50-50. It's tough. The game's played at warp speed by big guys looking to do serious damage. And it seems this league, more than the SEC certainly, has always erred on the side of being overly cautious and wrapping guys in bubble wrap, trying to protect and I'm like, what? Guys, it is football. And usually the bigger, stronger, faster team gets called for more penalties. That's why you see a Florida State, a Miami, a Florida, an Alabama, a Georgia, all these schools when they were good, if they are good. Elite teams get called, especially when they are huge favorites in games, for a lot of penalties. Because I think it's human nature, this is my guess, from officials when they see a hapless individual, somebody who's physically incapable of protecting themselves or putting up a fight and winning an individual battle. Anything that's close, the officials tend to side with the team that's the underdog because they're watching a guy get an ass kicking. He's physically incapable.
But here's the problem with that. We went 5-7 last year. We're the underdogs. And yet,
not against Duquesne, we're not.
No, but Boston College, Wake Forest on the road last year. Who's the underdog?
No, I know, man. It's just
we're the underdogs. Come on, ACC. If you want redistribution of wins, that's how you want to roll. We've been down a long time, ACC.
Just want to note that for a league that desperately needs Florida State to be good, they ought to be mindful of the impact of calls like that. Now, I'm not saying you ignore obvious infractions. I don't want special treatment where the rules don't apply. I'm talking about those 50-50 calls that we see at least once a game, sometimes twice, that could go either way depending on your officiating crew and depending on the points of emphasis, okay? I don't need the buzz down on a borderline call. Let's play football, man. Don't go out of your way looking for, if we slow it down frame by frame, possible injectionable infraction. Stop doing that.
I see that we have a donation. I'll hit the woo button in a second with the Doug Rhodes story. I haven't read it, so hopefully it's appropriate. But Doug Rhodes, when we were in the referees symposium,
I was there with you, yes.
What was the language he used about calling penalties? When in question, throw the flag.
Well,
think about that, though. When in question, throw the flag?
But I want to point something out. That was several years ago. I agree with you. Doug Rhodes is dead now. Rest in peace. That's not what we're talking about.
It seems like his legacy lives on in that office, is my point. When in question, they throw the flag. Go ahead.
But hold on. This is why it's important to note the time that has passed since he said that. And I'm with you. I heard it. I was pissed when he said it.
They still live it.
This is why it's unfortunate. And this is also why it ought to stop. There was a period of time. How far back do we want to go? 10 years ago? When was it you think we were on the air talking about the renewed emphasis of, I don't even want to say calling, hardcore. The kill shot was what they wanted to kind of legislate out of the game.
Targeting was about 10 years ago. Because,
I'm trying to think of the exact year.
Well, because we went in 12 to talk to Rhodes, and that was on the heels of the Nigel Bradham hit in 11, where you talked to Michael Kelly and said, what should he have done differently?
He should have done differently, and he couldn't answer.
I had never heard of targeting until that play.
Yeah.
It was not really in the lexicon of what an official would call. They call unnecessary roughness or something else. But that was the guy with the glasses, Jeff, whatever his name is. Yeah, that was him that night that called the targeting and ejected Bradham.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I thought the crowd, some people might have hopped over the rails that night. It felt close to there being a problem because they had already blown several calls leading up to that moment. So if it wasn't part of the game at that point, I'd say probably 2012 or 2013 is when targeting in both leagues was an emphasis.
And here's what I thought was the important point to that. And Seth, I'm going to read your question. Trust me. I thought it was important at that time to perhaps lean in that direction in the midst of the lawsuits against the National Football League that were shown to have lied to its players repeatedly about the long-term effects of CTE and head injury in the sport of football. Now, the reason that was important once we got on the same page, both medically and otherwise, there is nobody who's currently playing football that doesn't understand there is an inherent risk to do so to your brain. Okay. We now know it. We know it. It was speculated upon before. We now know it. A little bit like cigarettes. In the 50s, people probably felt like, hey, we know this probably isn't good. I could barely get up these stairs. After a while, we learned, yeah, man, no, it ain't good. It's not good. You were right. Okay. Eventually, it was agreed upon. And in football, we've agreed upon this too. Just like driving a race car 200 miles per hour is awfully dangerous. And if you hit a wall, you could die. Got it. Everybody knows the deal. Once they step out there now, this is not under the cloak of suspicion. Now we know, right? 50-50 calls, it's a violent game. We also know guys cannot, intent has to matter. I keep getting back to this. Intent has to matter. Enforce the rules that have been on the books forever. You could never lead with the crown of your helmet. You never could. Back when I played, before I played, and now, you could never do that. It was always an infraction. It was a player safety issue. You could break your neck. So Nick Monicani's son broke his neck doing that. Unfortunate, but he did. I mean, he broke his neck against the Citadel while East Tennessee State. That was it. Or against East Tennessee State when he was with the Citadel. The point is, those rules were already on the books. Enforce those. You don't have to go out of your way now to slow everything down frame by frame and then buzz down and say, hey, I think we've got something here. It's a got you sort of deal. That's not the way you should be calling that. Everybody's aware it's a dangerous game.
I understand that. And we've been saying that specific thing about targeting since it's been instituted. I've
been screaming from the mountaintops that
what league is going to change first? It ain't going to be this one in that regard.
But they're up against it. They are now screwed. I'm just talking, I was being selfish to some extent. Now, somehow I've gotten down the path of arguing about targeting rarely happens, by the way. I have said this since day one, and people got mad at me back when I used to say it. Now they agree with me. Targeting rarely happens.
Yeah, I you know it when you see it. Patrick Chung, Todd Heap, I remember from years ago.
There have been, Bill
Harrison.
Bill Romanowski used to do it to people all the time intentionally, and I used to say he should be thrown out of the game.
Perfect, James Harrison.
Bill Romanowski.
John Lynch to a degree.
Well, Bill Romanowski used to try to break people's jaws by coming up with the crown of his helmet underneath. There are a number of guys who played dirty, and you could identify them because it was so glaringly obvious. Now, listen, we go all the way back to the 60s and stuff. There were no rules, whatever. But I'm saying that a defender now, right, closing in to make a tackle, decides the angle. He's trying to go low. Most defenders are trying to go low. They were trying to legislate the kill shot out of the game, meaning a defenseless receiver over the middle of the field, and you launch into their head when you have the ability to tackle. Well, tackling should have always been the goal anyhow. And I agreed that they needed to get that out of the game. That guys launching themselves into the upper torso when they had the option to just break ribs with their shoulder is a very different deal, right? I wanted that gone.
Yeah.
But this conference, more than any of the other conferences, finds targeting wherever they can around every turn. And they especially seem to do it whenever one of the teams has a reputation for being perhaps bigger, stronger, faster.
And even when they're not, when they're lowly Florida State because of the helmet,
it carries over.
How long?
Yeah,
we've been good for 4 out of 20 years.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Jesus.
I know.
What about Jim Phillips' press conference in Charlotte gives you the confidence that he has that type of forward-thinking mentality behind the scenes?
No, he sounded like a broken man. I agree with you. All right, Seth, very quickly. Doug Rhodes' story. My senior year at FSU in 11, I called and complained about officiating, and he actually called me back and talked to me for 30 minutes. Didn't get much, but it was nice to get the call. 17 tried again, got nothing. Yeah. Well, and appreciate the contribution to what we do, Seth. Really appreciate that. I mean that sincerely. I got to talk quickly here because we're up against it. We got to bring in Dominic Robinson. But yes, Doug was a pleasure to talk to, and he would tell you about why they do what they did and all of that. And we did that at the ACC meetings, and that was fun. And I disagreed with him vehemently, and so did you. But it didn't matter. He would still talk to you about it. They're much more shut down now.
I left that meeting hopeless in 12.
No.
I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's the answer you have?" And when in question,
listen. When the guy against Wake moved the damn ball 6 inches, he was like, well, that was a technique issue.
4th and 15.
We've talked to him a bunch. It was a technique issue.
What's the difference? 4th and 14. You don't see the process?
I mean, my man is moving the ball.
The PR firm could have made a lot of money off of this ACC over the years, sir. What have we done?
All right, Dominic Robinson is going to be our lead analyst for football games this year for the in-game watch-alongs you'll be able to watch on Warchant TV. He's gonna talk about some comments he made regarding Johnny Wilson's upside and his comparison to Kelvin Benjamin that he made, and then also where he's coming at all of this from, his analysis, his commentary. And I had a chance to sit down with him yesterday. He wanted to clarify some things, but also he's excited, just like we all are, to be part of the team and to do this job of breaking down FSU and what they're attempting to accomplish on all these plays and the concepts involved and all that. That's next here on the Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV.
Physical stress on our bodies can take its toll as the years go by. Whether you're looking to get back into an old sport or just want to spend more time outdoors to explore all life has to offer in our beautiful city, the dedicated team at TOC is here for you every step of the way. You can trust TOC for all your orthopedic needs. And now, scheduling an appointment has never been easier. Just visit teamtoc.com and click schedule online. That's teamtoc.com.
Hey, Nole fans, our partner ISF Inc. is a national management and IT consulting firm located right here in Tallahassee, Florida, solving the future for state governments through strategy, process, and technology. As a trusted advisor for state governments, ISF knows the importance of defining a clear and detailed strategy. Our friends at ISF can help your organization create a strategy that sets you on a path to success. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hey, you, can't you read the sign? It says, keep off the grass. Oh, but I just wanted to feel it. Excuse me? I wanted to feel what it was like to have an amazing lawn like you do. It always looks so good, even in the summertime. How do you do it, neighbor? They're called Lawn Johns. They come once a week. Maybe you should give them a call so you can tell other people to stay off your lawn. How's that sound? Ooh, yes. I would love to tell people to stay off my lawn. For the very best in lawn care, call the Lawn Johns at 850-322-2567. Stay off my lawn. When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to drink water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service, right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mnlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
July 9, 1755, near Fort Duquesne, now the city of Pittsburgh. A 23-year-old British officer leads his troops in battle during the French and Indian War. Though fired upon repeatedly, this young lieutenant colonel remains unharmed, to the disbelief of the native warriors. 15 years later, a respected chief sat over a council fire with this same man. As he told all those listening, the Great Spirit protects this man and guides his destiny. He will become the chief of nations, and a people yet unborn will hail him as the founder of a mighty empire. The man was George Washington, who went on to become the commander-in-chief of the Continental Army and the first president of the United States.
Celebrating our nation's quest for freedom. Witten Glass on South Monroe. For mirrors, shower enclosures, and window glass, call 222-5781. And Sellers Tile on Capitol Circle Northeast. For tile, carpet, hardwood, and luxury vinyl, call 656-8453.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Welcome in, Warchant TV, warchant.com. I'm Jeff Cameron. In a moment, we're going to welcome in Dominic Robinson. You all remember him very well from his playing days at Florida State. And he's with us now on warchant.com and Warchant TV. In fact, that's where I'll begin. Don't forget, the watch-along party will be doing pregame shows this Saturday. Myself and Tom Lang. The in-game show is that guy right there as he breaks down and analyzes personnel, the game, as we watch along. It's a good thing. There you'll see it. The watch-along begins with the game at 5 p.m. Pregame show at Hotel Indigo, 2 o'clock. And right after the game concludes, about 10 to 15 minutes after it concludes, you get a post-game show as well with Tom Lang and Gene Williams. So we've got you covered from start to finish. Don't forget to like and subscribe to Warchant TV and watch our latest show. Dominic Robinson, how are you, good sir?
Man, I'm super pumped, man. I'm really excited, and obviously I created a little stir the last time I was on. So I'm excited to touch on and explain a little bit what my comments were, but really just excited to have opportunities like this to go dig a little bit deeper than the, sort of the typical talking heads, guys that make these hot sports opinions, that are really backed in no fact or really understanding of the game. They just know it'll get clicks or, entertain people, but that's not my deal. That's not my lane. So excited to dig into the X's and O's and really the why behind the success or the failures of these football teams and football players.
Well, I know people will enjoy that. I always enjoy that as well. And it can be infuriating, especially when you hear guys say things that aren't really relevant or germane to that particular play or assignment. And you certainly know what you're looking at, not only as a former player, but as somebody who consumes this and is involved in it year round. This is something that you've remained close to and continue to be a part of. And I know that you've continued to also kind of fully vet Mike Norvell's offense. You got a good understanding. You've talked with him and others about this offense. So that'll be exciting to hear your insights as to, what they're trying to set up, what they're doing here, why that worked or didn't work, what that personnel grouping means, and what those assignments are, who missed them and who succeeded.
Yeah, for sure, man. And that's something that I'm super duper passionate about, something that I've been doing for a long time, whether officially or unofficially, behind the scenes or in front of the camera. So I'm really excited to bring that about something that I'm also passionate about, which is Florida State football. I've been a fan for a really long time, way prior to even playing there or even having an opportunity to think that I could play there. So really excited about the opportunity to sit down and just dig a little bit deeper than the typical broadcast, and not just make these bold, overarching opinions about things, but really, like you said earlier, just dig deep into the belief system, the philosophy behind Mike Norvell, what he wants to do, the things that he believes a successful offense and defense should do. And then, are they achieving that? Are they doing the things that they set out to do? With this being, a pivotal year for him and his staff, with his guys now being in there, I feel like he's probably got the staff that he envisioned he would have at this point, and the players that he envisioned he would have at this point. So now it's it's go time. So I'm excited.
Definitely good. Yeah. We all are. It's definitely go time. People are anxious for this season. Well, let's get to it. I mean, you don't just say things meekish, first of all. Secondly, you don't say things just to say them. So we've established that. That said, a lot of Florida State fans got really excited about your opinion of Johnny Wilson. Yeah. And hey, listen, I've been at those practices. I like Johnny Wilson. I was surprised to hear you compare him to Kelvin Benjamin. Now, Kelvin Benjamin had a very small window in which he was a dominant player, and we all have various thoughts on why that was. But the bottom line is, let's clarify what you meant. What is it you love about Johnny Wilson, and what do you think about what he will become, whether it's this year or the year after, or as a player maybe down the line in the NFL?
Yeah, I think just to touch on what you said before, make sure that I want to, this is, I've only been on, maybe 4 times at this point. So you guys are getting to know me just like I'm getting to know you. As you get to know me and as we spend more time and I spend more time on this medium, you guys will see that the comments that I made about Johnny are not something that you'll get a lot of from me, big, the overarching statements, sort of, bullet point, hot sport opinion type things. You may be entertained by it, but it's never my goal or intention to just get clicks and to try to entertain you with the information. I'm a coach first, to my being, to the deepest, parts of my body. Like, I'm a football coach, and I would never say something for effect or, again, for entertainment. I only say those things because I really feel deeply about it. I am a very sincere person. I'm a very honest and upfront and forward person. And the main reason why I can really speak so boldly about this situation, both KB and Johnny, is I've spent a lot of time with both of them, and not only them, but with their coaches. I just spent time with KB's pro coach at the Carolina Panthers, Lance Taylor. I spent time with Lawrence Dawsey and know him very well. I was in the meeting rooms with Kelvin Benjamin and Lawrence Dawsey for many sessions. I spent time on the practice field with Kelvin Benjamin. I spent time talking to Jimbo Fisher about Kelvin Benjamin while I was there coaching at Leon High School and helping out with the wide receivers over the summer. I also spent time one-on-one with Johnny's coach, college coach, Coach Prentice here at ASU. I know him very well. I spent time with Johnny. I watched Johnny on film, both his freshman year and his sophomore year. So I'm not just speaking just based on highlights. I'm not speaking based on bullet points I'm not speaking from what I heard someone else say or what someone else believes. I personally have spent an exorbitant amount of time with both parties, both personally and then other people that worked with them professionally. And I'm not making a statement based on fantasy football. Okay, it's fantasy football versus reality. And for example, Anquan Bolden, his junior year, caught 41 footballs for 6 touchdowns. Kelvin Benjamin, I believe, caught 55 footballs for 15 touchdowns and over 1,000 yards. Kelvin Benjamin is nowhere near the wide receiver that Anquan Bolden ever was, and that argument, it doesn't even begin. Anquan Bolden was a rookie of the year and absolutely killed the National Football League. Fantasy football would tell you that Kelvin Benjamin is the guy based on his college stats, college numbers. Okay, there's a difference between production and then actual the things that the NFL and coaches assess players by. And it's not catches, it's not yards, it's not touchdowns. Okay, Julio Jones, for instance, one of the most dominant players to ever walk the earth at wide receiver. He has a very low touchdown rate. So he's not very good in fantasy football. He's not the guy that you really want in fantasy football. But there's plenty of guys that you would draft over him in fantasy football that if we did a real receiver draft with people who actually know and understand the game, there's no chance you're taking someone in front of Julio Jones because he is a better wide receiver. And that was the point that I was making. Johnny, I'm not saying that Johnny's going to catch 55 balls, lead us to a national title, catch a touchdown in the national championship over Chris Davis. I'm not even coming close to saying that. What I'm saying is that if you know and understand wideout play and you compare the two and the attributes that make a wide receiver a productive NFL talent, Johnny is closer to being that than Kelvin Benjamin is, or Kelvin Benjamin was at the time. I'm a huge fan of Kelvin Benjamin, so I hate even kind of saying some of this stuff that I said, oh, this guy's better, that guy's better, because trust me, man, I lifted my 9-year-old son up after, just like you said, somebody lifted you up in the press box. I lifted my 9-year-old son above my head after Kelvin Benjamin scored. I absolutely loved watching that guy play. I am a huge fan of him. I always will be. But there's a difference between being a fan and being a homer. I'm not a homer. I'm not watching Florida State with rose-colored glasses. I'm a coach and I'm an evaluator. That's what I do. That's who I am to my being. So when I watch them play, I can evaluate. I can separate my emotion from the reality of what's going on out there on the field. And that's all I was saying was I know Johnny well enough to know that that's a football star. That is a wide receiver star. And if you like the things that Kelvin Benjamin did on the football field, Johnny Wilson has the ability to do even more just based on the attributes that he has and the wideout play he has. He doesn't have the quarterback. There were 6, I believe, or 8 All-Americans on that team that KB played on. One of them was the quarterback. 2 of them were offensive linemen.
Yeah.
So you can't compare the two in terms of production, and that's not what I was doing.
Johnny, it's not just Johnny Wilson. If the number 1 overall pick in the draft is the starting quarterback for your team, lots of guys' numbers are going to go way up. Everybody's going to feel pretty good.
Exactly. So it's so it's fantasy versus reality,
Right.
And Kelvin Benjamin was and everybody on that team, Nick O'Leary, from top to bottom, that team put up numbers that were just astronomical. So I'm not saying that Johnny's going to put up that amount of production. Hell, I hope he does, but it's not realistic to think that. He doesn't have the system is different. Quarterback is different. There's so many different factors that go into actual production. But if we're talking about wideout play, that's what I was speaking to. That's what I'm excited about watching, both with the kid that transferred over from Oregon and with Johnny.
Yeah, Micah Pittman and Johnny Wilson coming up from Arizona State. It's
Yeah.
exciting. Can you imagine another time and another day you and I can have a discussion about what those numbers would have looked like if Jimbo Fisher didn't play at such a slow pace? Can you imagine if he had tried to play tempo? I mean, those numbers would maybe be uncatchable. I mean, because they broke NCAA records running 55 plays a game.
They were, man, and they were pro style. They weren't chucking it around the way that the way that offenses are now. It would be really fun. And again, kind of going back to that same argument, when I was coming out, Texas Tech wideouts every year were catching like 80 or 90 balls.
Yeah.
Florida State wideouts were catching 40 and 50 balls. Not a single person on the planet was taking a Texas Tech wideout over any Florida State wideouts, from Snoop Menace and Devon Walker and all these guys. They weren't catching over 40 or 50 balls because the style of offense. Production doesn't match the reality of whether a player is a good player or not. Those guys were catching a ridiculous amount of catches. And it wasn't until Michael Crabtree busted sort of that mold of, hey, we can have production and be a top flight wideout. But prior to him, they just didn't. Those guys weren't getting drafted at all. Weren't even getting considered because it was the offense.
You beat me to the punch. I was just about to bring up Michael Crabtree. It worked out perfect. See, we could just talk football all day. So really quick, I think folks can glean from this where you're coming from. And I think it's refreshing, and I think it's insightful, and I think it's interesting. And I just want to say this: Saturday, starting game time, 5:00, the watch along. Dominic Robinson going to be right here, espousing these opinions, telling you why, telling you what they're looking to do here, what they're trying to accomplish, what this play is designed to do, why it did or didn't work, and everything else in between. You see that lineup right there. Like and subscribe. First of all, the pregame show, 2:00, Hotel Indigo. 5:00, they kick it off, and you will hear from the man himself, Dominic Robinson, breaking it down throughout all of the games this year, and then, of course, the postgame show as well. I'm looking forward to it. Final thing, what are you probably most looking forward to, Dominic? I'm wondering about this year's team. They have some question marks, obviously. You just said a moment ago that, they're a bit of a flawed team, but they're better. So what are your expectations for what Florida State can be? What's the jump look like to you if everything plays out all right? And obviously they have good injury luck and all the things that happen within football.
Yeah, I don't want to get too ahead of myself with any of this in terms of getting the program turned around or any of that. My main thing is I just want to see a consistency in competitiveness from game 1 through game 12. That's really, I want to see that last, because we had spots of that last year, and I was really impressed. I actually went to the Clemson game and saw them at Clemson, and showing up that day, I didn't think I was going to see a competitive team. And I left being incredibly impressed with the schemes and everything were great. They did a great job calling the game. I thought offensively, there was a couple things that they did really well, but more than anything, I saw an energy and a fight. I saw this level of competitiveness that, I don't care that you're Clemson. I don't care that we're on the road. I don't care that our quarterback's banged up. I don't care that we're, have a losing record right now. We're out here to fight you. We're here to get in a fight. And that was exciting for me as a longtime life Nole. I was concerned going into that. I thought I was going to see my team, my family get pumped in person. And I hadn't seen them in person in a really long time. So I was really, tepid about being there, because I was like, this is going to suck. And obviously I have my son with me, and and I'm a Nole, and it's just like my son's gonna see my family get punked like right in front of my face, and I can't do anything about it, And that's kind of the sucky part about when you're not playing anymore. Is like you can't control anything.
It's going to be a fun journey and a fun ride, and you can begin at home by watching on Warchant TV, 5 o'clock this Saturday for the in-game watch-along. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Dominic. It's good to hear from you. Good to talk to you, brother. Be good, and I'm looking forward to Saturday.
For sure.
All right, take care.
Know.
Thursday morning. At 10:23 a.m., its personnel went to the incident and crews discovered fire coming from a utility trailer with a 500-gallon tank attached. The trailer was near a large structure. Firefighters attacked the fire, which was spreading because of the large amount of fuel on the ground. The crew prevented the fire from reaching the structure, but a small portable was damaged. TFD did not report any injuries from the incident. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office is investigating a shooting that occurred Tuesday. Deputies responded to the area of East Clark Avenue in a reference to a shooting where they found a female victim who was transported to Tallahassee Memorial. The victim died from her injuries Tuesday night. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office asked anyone with information about the incident to contact the Sheriff's Office at 850-997-2023 or to remain anonymous, call the Big Bend Crime Stoppers at 850-574-TIPS. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 Local News Update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Scattered thunderstorms likely this afternoon, otherwise overcast. Daytime highs approaching 88, northeast winds around 5 miles per hour. Scattered thunderstorms likely tonight, lows dip down to about 73, cloudy skies expected. Scattered thunderstorms likely tomorrow, daytime highs approaching 89, cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 89.
Jerry's Famous Cigar Shop is a special place. It's Tallahassee's only traditional gentleman's cigar lounge with a massive collection of hard-to-find boutique cigar brands, a staff with over 100 years of combined cigar knowledge and experience, the best prices in town with full box discounts, a great selection of beer and wine, indoor and outdoor seating, private lockers, and best of all, Jerry's is a local family-owned business. Visit us on Sherrill Road or the new lounge on Cary Forest Parkway, the only cigar lounge for the true gentleman.
Well. Hey, Jeff, look at this place.
Yeah. Well, doing well. It's been a while since I've seen you, brother, but, it hasn't been a while since I've been over to Gordo's. I go there on the regular because of you, Eddie.
Well, we keep you regular.
Well, that's true, but I think of Gordo's as a place to sit down, have a cold beer, talk to your friends, enjoy the sports, eat the delicious food. But I think of you as Uncle Eddie, a man who takes care of his people and takes care of the town.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Hey, and we'll keep you regular.
Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Here's what you missed on the Greg Tish Show.
We need to have history. We need to have literature. It deserves an explanation. We don't need to be promoting lifestyles that come into play for your average elementary school.
Well, I had an experience with this. When my daughter was in school, her teacher gave her a book to read, but then she asked me what the C word is.
That was in the book.
That was in the book.
Okay, so about the C word. So you're talking about conservatives, right?
The Greg Tish Show, Monday through Friday, 6 to 9 a.m., only on Real Talk 93.3. The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
You all right?
Oh, yeah.
Look like you were exhaling.
A little bit. It's one fantastic program down. We've still got one more to go today, and we've got 3 more tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow is a busy day, but it's football Saturday, and it's a reason to be very, very excited. I know everybody is, and I completely agree. I, too, am very, very excited because we had an awful lot of interviews and pre-records and things that we had to do for today. Just logistically, I didn't get to give my love to everybody that helps us do the Jeff Cameron Show and sponsor the Jeff Cameron
So you're going to promo tomorrow again?
No.
No? Okay.
I don't think I can do it again. At least not during this show.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you're hearing this right now and you or someone you know is active military, a veteran, police officer, firefighter, nurse, or a teacher, listen up. Good things lie in wait for you. My friend Shannon with Legendary Home Loans has a hometown hero loan program designed to make a difference to those that make a difference. When it's time to buy a new home, he will waive all lender fees for all hometown heroes. That's over $1,600 worth of value right there out the gates. If you decide to use their preferred title company for the closing, you'll save another $600. We're now up over $2,200 off the top. That's doing some things, baby, and it's important. So, again, if any of you are or know somebody who's interested in perhaps getting a loan for a home, and they're active military, veteran, police officer, firefighter, nurse, or a school teacher, you want to buy a new home, choose Shannon Young with Legendary Home Loans. Ask about their Hometown Heroes program. Call 844-FSU-LOAN, 844-FSU-LOAN, or visit FSUHomeLoans.com. That's FSUHomeLoans.com. Yeah, I want to make sure I get that in there because Shannon's a huge Nole. They all are there, and he'll be in town this weekend for the game, and I know excited to see his fellow Noles and get after it. Good times. Good times.
Starting to feel more real. And Ryan, in the chat, you can go to hell putting that out there about the lightning delay. Don't do that.
What happened?
Don't do that, he's saying. Enjoy the lightning delay, which I got a kick out of, but
and
come on, man.
Well, now you called out Ryan, and I looked over and he said, I'm not 23 anymore. No, I'm bald, Ryan. I'm old. Yeah. I don't know if something about me reading made you feel compelled to.
No lightning delays here. If there is one, have it be before kickoff of the game, right? Because you don't want the watch along to start. It go through 5 plays, then there's a lightning delay. That's just.
I don't know why we're talking about lightning delays. Can we just not do this?
Your fault, Ryan.
Do not do this. Sure, there's a chance. We're in the South. We're in Florida. It's still summer. It's hot. This is what happens. And the standard has changed, as we pointed out. It used to be there was a good chance you could die practicing football in this state in the 80s and 90s. Not anymore. We now learned our lesson, but I just.
Yeah.
Man.
If there's a lightning strike at the paper mill in Perry, then we're done.
It's
45 minutes from every single one.
You're going to make me say something about Perry, and they'll be all angry.
Oh, come on.
Oh,
I shouldn't have done that.
Well, it's fun. It's fun. It's okay. Everybody, settle down. It's okay. Here we go. You ready? Let's get after it. Probably.
It's time for, how you say, with the pitching, probables?
Dodgers, Marlins, Tyler Anderson having a Cy Young season out of nowhere after leaving Pittsburgh. It's 13-2 with an ERA just over 2. What the hell are we doing? Marlins are TBD. Reds, Nationals, Mike Minor, Cade Cavalli. Pirates, Phillies. Oh, you don't want any of this. Get you some, Director Matthew. Welcoming in the Buccos, the Battle of Pennsylvania tonight, everybody. Yeah, we're throwing Bryce Wilson. He of the 2-7-5-7-4 Wilson family. Some dude named Bailey Falter is pitching for you guys. Is that right? Did I say his name right? Is he any good? No? All right.
He's a quick mover, though. So if you like rapidly moving baseball games.
Well, we can't hit a lick, so he'll get right against us. Angels, Blue Jays, Reed Detmers, and Mitch White. Rockies, Mets, Chad Kuhl, Chris Bassett. Man, your boy was throwing last night. Dealing.
Yep.
I watched that.
In his 5 starts since his return, 46 Ks, 2 walks.
Just get the hell out of here with some of that location, right? It's hilarious.
46-2?
Yeah, it's fun to watch. Rays, Red Sox, JT Chargois, Michael Waka. Tigers, Rangers, Tyler Alexander, Glenn Otto. Hey, I'm Glenn Otto. Welcome to Glenn Otto. I didn't go full on. I couldn't do it today. Orioles, Astros, Kyle Bradish, Lance McCullers Jr. Padres, Royals, TBD, Chris Bubik. Giants, Twins, Alex Wood, Joe Ryan. D-backs, White Sox, Tommy Henry, Johnny Cueto still in the league and pitching well. Cubs, Brewers, Justin Steele, Freddie Peralta. Braves, Cardinals. Hey, I'll say it. I'm going to say it out loud, Tom. I'm going to say it out loud. Let's go Braves.
What?
Playing the Cardinals.
No.
Screw the Cardinals.
No.
Let's go Bravos.
What do you care?
Let's get it done, Braves.
Don't you care more about me?
I hate the Cardinals.
You hate the Cardinals more than you care about me. I see.
I know. I just hate the Cardinals. I love you dearly, but screw the Cardinals. Jose Quintana is pitching tonight for the Cardinals. That creep can roll,
Apparently,
man.
these freaking guys in Atlanta. Arenado's wife is having a kid, so he's not even going to play this weekend.
I don't know.
Unbelievable. Go get him, Goldschmidt.
Let's go, Bravo!
You do your Triple Crown thing.
Spencer Strider is going to pitch for the Braves. Yankees, A's, Garrett Cole, J.P. Sears, Guardians, Mariners, Shane Bieber, and Logan Gilbert. And that is a look at those that shall reside on the bump. Boom, 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 boom.
That's how it goes.
Man.
You'll be humming that on your way on the roads today.
Well done, live spectator. 8-year-olds, dude. Yeah. Quintana can roll. Every time I see it come up, he was a Pirate for most of the year. With a record. When the best part of that is the knocking on the door and the flashback of that huge dude.
Yeah, they cut it the right time because it's not an oversold look. It's just a concerned look from the Jesus. Like, oh,
and he's wearing ridiculous.
Totoro's got range, man.
Oh, he's so good. He is so
He's got
good.
range for days.
It never gets old. I laugh every time.
Who's got more range, Oldman or Totoro?
Ooh, Gary.
Close though.
He's really Gary, but it's still good.
It's close.
It's good. Yeah. No, I listen. I trust him. I see the name in the cast. I'm like, all right, we're gonna be good here. We're all right, guys. You don't have to worry about this. Good work out of you. I'll see you very shortly at the Corner Pocket Bar and Grill, Appalachian Parkway. It is happy hour showtime at 5:30 to 6:30. Me and myself, Corey Clark. Good job, Director Matthew. Be good, everybody. Go Noles. Talk to you Monday after a big win.